If you have tried something again and again and it keeps not working, and you have started to whisper to yourself that maybe you are just a failure, I want you to consider this. You're not failing. You're iterating. Every attempt that didn't work was not a verdict on you. It was data. We're taught to see failure as a full stop. You try, it doesn't work, and the story ends there with a label stamped across it. Failed. So we start avoiding the things we might be bad at, shrinking our lives down to the narrow set of things we already know we can do, and calling that being realistic. But walk into any inventor's workshop, and you'll see a different relationship with the word. The bench is covered in things that didn't work, the prototype that snapped, the design that leaked, the version that almost did the job, but not quite. To the inventor, none of those are failures. They're the path. Each broken attempt removed one wrong answer and pointed a little closer to the right one. The mess on the bench isn't the opposite of success. It's what success is made of. Thomas Edison, asked about the thousands of attempts it took to make a working light bulb, didn't say he had failed thousands of times. He said he had successfully found thousands of ways that would not work. Same events, completely different story. And the story he told himself was the one that let him keep going until the room lit up. Let me tell you about someone. I'll call him Marcus. Marcus wanted to build something of his own, and his first attempt fell apart within a year. So did the second. By the third, the voice in his head had grown loud and certain. You are not cut out for this. Smart people would have got it by now. He wasn't measuring his progress. He was measuring himself and finding himself guilty. What slowly changed for Marcus wasn't that he suddenly stopped getting things wrong. It was that he started treating each wrong thing as information instead of as a sentence. After every collapse, he asked one new question. What did this teach me that I didn't know before? And the strange thing was, the answers started stacking up. The fourth attempt wasn't built by a different person. It was built by the same person, carrying everything the first three had taught him. There's real science under this. Researchers who study mindset found that people fall roughly into two camps. Some believe their ability is fixed, so a mistake feels like proof of their limit. Others believe ability grows, so a mistake feels like a clue. Brain studies show the second group actually pays more attention to their errors and bounces back faster, because to them, an error isn't shameful, it's useful. The difference was never raw talent. It was the story each one told about getting it wrong. So if you're standing in the rubble of an attempt that didn't work, sure that the rubble is proof of something broken in you, here are 3 things I want you to understand. First, a failed attempt and a failed person are not the same thing. The attempt has an outcome you can measure. The person is a story you're choosing to tell. You can run 100 experiments that don't work and still be a scientist, not a failure. The only real failure is deciding the experiment was about your worth. Second, the point of an attempt is not just to win, it's to learn. If you walk away from something that didn't work knowing one true thing you didn't know before, it wasn't wasted, it was tuition. The people who get there are rarely the ones who never failed. They're the ones who failed and kept the lesson. Third, you're allowed to try again as a new version. You don't have to start over as the same person who failed last time. You start over carrying everything the failures taught you, which makes the next attempt smarter than the last. That's not going in circles, that's climbing a spiral. So stop reading your unfinished attempts as the final word on who you are. You were never failing in the way you feared. You were running the experiments that anyone who builds anything real has to run, and calling the results a character flaw. The writer Samuel Beckett put the whole thing into 6 words. Ever tried, he wrote. Ever failed, no matter. Try again. Fail better. Fail better. Not never fail. Fail in a new way, a smarter way, one lesson further down the road than last time. That isn't the language of someone who is losing. It's the language of someone who's iterating their way toward the thing they were made to build. So go back to the bench. You were never a failure. You were always just one more attempt away.